So in authoritarian religions, the positive, the religious systems, we could say, because it's not that the religions are intrinsically authoritarian, but they can show themselves in those patterns. The position of the leader is overemphasized. It's not that you cannot emphasize that, it's okay, but overemphasized. And the individual diminishes himself, herself, becoming more and more deprived, empty, and poor. This leads to them being further alienated from themselves. And the size of the leader increases, and everyone else has to become less and less. So those members naturally intensify their supplication and surrender, those followers, to their guru. And naturally, by doing that, they will feel even more deprived, more empty, and more poor. Eric Fromm says something interesting in this regard. Let me share that with you. He says, a cycle is set in motion. Fear and despair followed by worship and supplication, back and forth. All this guilt and self-loathing leads to a variety of neurotic symptoms. That's why many persons who experienced authoritarian dynamics in their religion, upon undergoing psychoanalysis, quit the religion. It was not because psychoanalysis set them at odds with religion. Rather, they came to realize that authoritarian religion had an unhealthy grip on them, and by therapy, they were able to get free. Instead of empowering them to deal with the world, authoritarian religion reduced them to fear and trembling. It caused them to shrink away from the world and themselves. End of the quote. So, of course, the real question here is, can we live in such a way that people don't need to be afraid of us? And of course, an authoritarian system will reply, no, that's not healthy. Fear is a necessity for these systems. In fact, some say that fear, the full word F-E-A-R, is merely an acronym for false evidence appearing real. Fear. So it has to appear real to somehow keep the system working, basically. This authoritarian regime, so to say. And when religion becomes an organizational system, as it usually does, it will reward fear because it offers control to those in management, basically. So if you fear, you surrender, you obey, you give me power and control, so I congratulate you, I say nice things to you, I offer a position to you, but actually only so you can continue surrendering yourself in that toxic manner. Therefore, this vicious circle will go until we free a healthy skepticism, so to say. There is a healthy way for that, so that our spiritual and critical faculties can beneficially coexist. Spiritual, critical faculties, thinking, healthy skepticism. Srila Prabhupada confirms this in a lecture that he gave in New York, August 17, 1966, if you want to research. He says, not that you have to submit yourself blindly. Although your spiritual master may be self-realized and experienced in the absolute truth, still you have to question. You have to understand from him all critical points by your intelligent questions. That is allowed. So here we see how Prabhupada is not promoting any type of blind following, any type of authoritarian regime, celebrity consciousness, cultish templates, and so on. There is place for the disciple to question, to think critically, which is a duty and a commitment and responsibility.